Howdy and welcome all to the Shadow Demon Podcast. I'm your host, Shadow Demon. Today we're going to be continuing my playthrough of Backpack Survivors. Gonna test out the subclass Cutlass today. Jump right into the run. This class specializes in piercing weapons, so we want to make sure I stack up a whole bunch of piercing weapons. And the other big thing is this lucky dagger gets extra damage for every point of luck above 100%. So, character has bonus luck, and with the lucky coin, I also get extra luck as long as I have plenty of money. Or a ton of common items. Snag the health. Set boots in like that, so most 3 seconds. Yeah. So that gets extra base damage and crit multiplier. I'm gonna freeze this dagger. I'll probably go mostly daggers this run. But right now I want to get as many of these as I can. Freeze that for the extra bit of slashing damage, and I can turn one of the daggers into a diamond shiv, which is an alright piercing weapon. Start the run. Collect up as much as I can. Dive into the shop. Oh, wow. That's big for starting right off. We'll grab that dagger. Freeze those. And use my reroll to look for more useful items. Alright. Snag the magnet. I also want a bunch of luck items with this character just so I can at least get the lucky dagger being really damaging. That. These to upgrade that shiv. Same plan. Snag that. That's worth the 50. That's pretty good. Don't have anything that affects. Yeah. Need to get a bit of gold for the next shop. I'm looking for a treasure chest at this point. I have full health. I'm gonna run through this just because I got a little bit of health I can sacrifice. Alright, first off, grab that, get the extra gold. And this for the extra little bit of luck, because that's damage. And grab another dagger. Once I get everything unlocked, or all my slots unlocked, I can start saving money. Want that. And that. Snag that. If I go like that. Now my lucky dagger, which is a piercing ranged weapon, gets extra damage, projectile speed, and piercing damage. Excellent. It's lightning stuff. I have a feeling a lot of my weapons aren't, or a lot of this equipment is not going to be all that useful, as this character is set up for piercing thrown weapons, and elemental is kind of wasted on him. I could turn most of my daggers into magic daggers, which would be partially piercing, partially energy, but I'd also have to boost the energy damage just to make them fully useful. That would offset the penalty he gets for doing piercing, or for doing energy and being so specialized in piercing. Chest. I also need to look into getting some global cooldown reduction. That'll speed up how fast my daggers go out. So right now, it's like, yeah, I got a cooldown of 1 second. 0.78 as opposed to 0.8. Continue grabbing backpack slots. Yeah. Shove another dagger in. At this point, I have max weapons. I'm just going to continue grabbing these items. Yeah. Diamond Shiv is only slightly more damage, but not real long range. All right. It's melee. It's just here for if something gets close. I can stab them. Just gonna slowly make my way through these guys, and we're almost got the first boss spawned. Kinda hoping there's a chest up here. Aha, there it is. And we made it to the shop before the boss came. Yeah. 4 to 7 as opposed to 10 to 16. So I will just stick with boosting luck to increase the damage of the lucky dagger. And see if I can find some way to get my projectile count up. Increase piercing damage with the Ointments of War. I'll just have to make sure I don't put another one there. Which we can block it with a Ring of Health. I might do some spikes, but I'm going to try to avoid taking damage as much as possible. It's stun per blunt tag. I don't really think I have many blunt tags. Not what this character's good at. Increase the pickup radius. There we go. just slightly rearrange. Oh, wait, that's... Well, it does upgrade the damage by 15% for one of them. Not really worth it, to be completely honest. That at least boosts health regen. There we go. I now no longer need bag items. Well, unless I get a relic. Now I just need to rebuild up my gold. And I've already gotten enough gold to get most of the damage boosts back. And here's the first boss. Should be a bit of a cakewalk. Just gotta slowly chip away at his health. There we go. First boss taken care of. Nice and easy. I don't take the Feather of the Zephyr, because there's another item of the Zephyr that increases luck, so having a bunch of those relics is super useful. Shift the coupon down. You know what? Dump that, and I'm gonna try out the bladed fan. Because I have the slot, we can see if it's any good. I'm struggling to find what I need. We're gonna do the alcohol as well. Smoky beer. Gain 25% damage, but I lose a little bit of armor and a little bit of dodge chance. That increases projectile count. We're gonna dump the Ring of Health. Snag the Robe of Infinite. It does slow down my daggers a little bit. I can offset that by finding more of these lesser bands of fury. Damn. Probably went in here a little early. No. 2 base damage. 1 dash. Yeah, we'll drop a ring of health. And another ring of health. And another ring of health. Stick that there. Grab these just because it gives +2 base damage to everything and gives me another dash. Don't do void damage. Yeah, we're just gonna continue. And just searching the map for treasure chests. There we go. None of those are useful. Yeah, not helpful either. Sub a ring of health for a ring of greed. So when I have more than 300 coins, I have plus 50% damage from rings of greed. Add so many blunt items. Some holy stuff. Yeah, not really. I could probably sell some of these luck items to boost one thing by things damaged by a bit, but I don't think it's worth it. That's cold. Energy weapons, yeah. I will say the 2 warrior type subclasses are a little underpowered. At least, or they don't pop off quite as much as the regular guy with elemental stuff. But I'm still doing pretty good. Go. Global cooldown reduction is always good. for now. You know what? Sell that. Sell that. Just get the gold from there. I really want Bands of Lesser Fury. That's what I really need. Yeah, I've almost got the cooldown back to normal. Some Jewels of Haste and I'd have it. All my gold. That's not really worth it. I'm gonna freeze that because in 4 shops I'll have the space for it. Damage went down a bit, but I should be able to eliminate them fast enough to refill my gold. Magnetic altar. Alright. Just gonna charge through the center. And head for the shop. Might be a little bit more than just 4 turns, but I will eventually have the room for some extra stuff. Adds base damage per energy tag. A bunch of these belts plus magic daggers could work on this character. But I am not likely to find many of those belts. Oh yeah, there's Staff of Piercing Gold. I forgot about this. % damage, cooldown of at most 3 seconds. That would be just over. Yeah, I can get rid of the diamond shiv and these. Just rearrange slightly. And then if I can get this thing's cooldown under 3 seconds, I can move the deckhand's shreds up to affect it, making it even more deadly. That is better than the Diamond Edge Shiv, almost definitely. Also, it has one of the coolest effects on the screen. Giant gold beam that goes across. If I find that item again that increases the size, I will pick it up because it'll be useful. chest. Now I just need to get the shop to spawn again. So I got plenty of cash. I should be smart about this. And I will pick these up. Just because instead of leaving them frozen here. That's not useful. Nah, these are better. Jewel of Haste. Another 2% reduction. Excellent. Actually, being smart about this. That way I can get 4 items, getting that 15% extra damage. 2 more shop visits, and I can swap into the next gold coupon. I've got a bunch of duplicate weapons, although that would boost the Lucky Dagger and the Piercing Staff. Alright, drop that. That. And that. I can rearrange slightly. I want that to stay. So that'll get the extra base damage for the Lucky Dagger and the Piercing Staff. Sell that for a Ring of Greed. Ring of Haste. Or another Amulet of Haste. Alright. That was worthwhile. I could use the relic that gives me 2 extra bars in the backpack at this point, because that would be super useful. The boss spawns, I'm going to grab this power altar, and hopefully I can delete the boss's health bar pretty quick. I need to stay kind of close to him for my daggers to get him, and the piercing gold staff. Come on, a little more. Damn it. Perfect. Yeah, none of these help me. You know what? I'm gonna take Horn of the Zephyr because that'll be 2 seconds duration for them. Every 7 seconds, both will last for 2 seconds. As much as I want to re-roll for things that, or try and get the backpack expansion, don't really need it. At least not immediately. So, lightning weapons. I think the Thunderflash ring comes from Ring of Greed, and then the equivalent, the lightning equivalent of that. This guy. Okay, real quick. There we go. And I don't need any of those. Actually, I'm going to boost that up a bit more. This fires fast enough that it's fine the way it is. That's just straight speed damage and armor. Yeah, after I get through these gold coupons, this will probably get added in. Here we go, another Amulet of Haste. Drop Pure Luck for Amulet of Haste. About 3 seconds. 9-5. Beautiful. Get rid of that for another one. I actually think these Lesser Bands of Fury would be better, but I'll take the Amulets of Haste since that's what it wants to give me. And I have spawned the shop already. Again, already, after just leaving it. I don't really need the amulets of pure luck anymore. Gold coupons aren't worth taking anymore either. Didn't find anything in that shop. Yeah, I suspect I'm not going to find anything in this shop either. You know what? So, lots of damage off of this. That's also really good to add in. I mean, 4 of those when I have 300 gold is plus 100% damage, though. 3. Nah, but that cooldown reduction. Yeah, I think I need to just look for Rings of Fury at this point. All of that stuff. Hit the shop again. And probably quickly burn through all of my gold looking for stuff that isn't going to pop up. Blunt melee weapons, not helpful. If I was doing energy weapons, this would be amazing, but I'm not. All right. Wait, that's a relic altar. I want this. Quills of the Zephyr, 100% bonus damage for 3 seconds. That's what I was looking for. That's one of the good ones. So now any more of the Zephyr items that I can find, the better. One more time for that. And then I'll have to figure out how to get these pants in. Out of curiosity, just because I've got a little bit of money to spare and I'm doing all right as it is. It's the Stormborn Signet Ring. Okay. Yeah, I'd have to go like this. Yeah, that's a huge crit chance and crit multiplier. I may actually start dropping daggers for things like the Jewel of Haste or to make room for the leggings. And then just stockpile gold to increase the staff's damage. Yeah. Time stop alter to thin the enemy herd. Collect a bunch of stuff. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop that dagger. I'm going down to 4 weapons, but between this and the lucky dagger, I should be fine. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with it, and if I find the relic that expands the backpack slots, then I'll start diving into the store again. I have a feeling this level's... I'm not gonna find it after this level. If I find that other relic that increases my backpack slots, I will probably then convert one of my daggers that's left into magical daggers and just get the boost to all my weapons for all being unique items. We'll poke our head into the shop. Yep. Yeah, I need... Huh. Massive reduction in damage, but they bleed for 6 extra seconds. Really good for slashing. don't think I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. Collect as much gold as possible. I might eliminate enough of them to get the shop, but I doubt it. Takes a couple of blasts from my staff, and I might, but all right, here comes the Demon Spider Queen. This boss usually gets me, so we're gonna go take this. Reduce cooldown as much as possible. Try and stay alive. Come on, just need a little bit more. Got it. Whew. The Demon Spider Queen is usually the one that gets me. That wouldn't be bad. Let's see. I could probably take all elites. One last try. Damn it. I got it. There's something wrong. I think... if you try to reroll twice, you just lose your reroll. It doesn't actually reroll. So I gotta hope for a relic altar here. Only that was piercing. Here we go. Band of Fury. I have the bonus 25% damage currently. It's 36 to 52. I removed that. Put that on. Yes, that is more damage. I'm gonna freeze that just in case. You know what? I'm gonna hold that just in case I do actually get the item I want. Or the relic I want somehow. Along with these. I will swap out dagger for magical dagger. And this thing. Speed, but size down. Don't want size down. That's energy ranged weapons. That's fire damage. That's all void weapons. 40 to 55. Drop that. $42 to 57. Yes, it is still better to get base damage up than it is the percent multiplier. All right. Power altar. Another power altar. Actually, if I drop the smoky beer, the ring of striking, and the jewel of haste, should still be all right. Get that. Yeah. There we go. So now I'm firing 3 laser beams, throwing 4 daggers for the lucky dagger and 3 for the regular ones. That's somewhat worthwhile. This contains Titan Souls. That's Power Altar, not Relic. Lots of Power Altars. Speed. I'm just not getting lucky with these. There's plenty of good stuff if you do thunder or the energy. Strictly piercing stuff seems to be few and far between. so many legendary items. It's 15% damage. Nah, the base damage is better. Also, 30% piercing damage. It's great. Too bad there aren't any legendary piercing weapons. There's none that I've seen. I found a loose treasure chest. Take a bit of a beating here. Grab that. Try and escape. Now that's a cooldown altar. Not what I want. No, I think the damage bonus is still better. That. Slowly regaining health. And as soon as I said that, I got stuck in a bad spot and lost it all. That's what I get for opening my mouth. Still surviving, just barely. Yep. Ooh. Oh wait, no, it's fire ranged weapons. A bunch of those rings could be really good, but X ranged weapons, projectile count, holy damage. Not worth it considering I don't have a holy ranged weapon. Infinity Rune Amulets. that's something that could be good if I can get the right relic. Yeah, I'd have to sacrifice both of these two daggers for this, and it would only be slightly better. And not attack nearly as fast. Alright, here comes the mountain moose god. Yeah. When I can get the laser to fire in the right direction, it just annihilates the horde. Slowly chunking down the boss. That hurt. More healing. Got him. Whew, that was close. So this is my last chance to get the relic I want. Nope. I'm going for the Devil's Gambit. Let's see if we can beat the final boss with the Devil's Gambit. Don't need any of that. You know what? I'm just gonna go in with this as high-powered as I can through gold. Luckily, the final boss spawns immediately. Just have to dodge his poison and void attacks. And the trail of slime he leaves behind. Oh, and the tentacle spots that hit me. Great. I just evaporated that horde. Ouch. 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 Got him below half. Getting a little bit riskier to try and get as many daggers into him as possible. He's gaining speed as time goes on. Come on. Almost got him. There we go. Yes! Oh, I have beaten Hellfire 4 with the Cutlass. Oh. And I'm fairly certain there's an achievement or two that I have beaten, or I have gotten. Or maybe not. Getting 10 relics active at the same time is going to be fun. I need to unlock more relics to have immediately equipped. I'm going to go back to the Warrior Apprentice. And thought there was... That limits me to 1 projectile per weapon, but infinite weapon capacity. Thought there was one of these that set the weapon capacity to 1, but going down that path gave me a whole bunch of bonuses to that. Yeah, down here. So I want to go... this. No. Okay, so what does this path get me? Health, base damage, health, crit chance, crit chance, crit chance. crits, crit, crit, crits. Stun and weapon range, block and health. So, kind of want more cooldown reduction. That's experience gain. That's straight damage. That's all based on blunt weapons. That's for piercing. Coin chance. That's all piercing weapons. That's range only, melee only. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, we're gonna try and reduce the cooldown from melee weapons. There we go. Just a bunch of damage upgrades. So I won't be quite as tanky, but I've got a huge bonus to damage. I just got a bit of speed. Oh wait, it's still calculating my buffs from the last run. Also, we've unlocked Ruins of Flame. I'm going to test a single weapon out here. Wait. I'm looking for Greatsword. Perfect. And I don't need the dagger. So I'm going to try and buff this as much as possible. The rest of my inventory space can be dedicated to things that will buff this or reduce cooldown and armor and shield. Or armor and health. Can't afford that. Dang. All right. I need a lot of cooldown reduction. Actually, I think projectile count would also affect this, so if I can up projectile count as well. Start this off with Templar Shield for that 5 armor and 10 health. That's also good to have. So we turn it into the Energy Blade. It's really good, and there's a bunch of stuff that can boost energy damage. I need more gold before I go in. I'm gonna release the wooden shield. Snag the ointment of war because it helps me now. The spiked shield and energy, and hope I roll some. Go. I need to know how many of these I need. 3. Okay. Lock that. That. Out of the... Get to the shop. We're actually going to be smart about this. There we go. For now... Because I am turning this into an energy weapon, that will be useful to have. Perfect. I need to come back with like 100 gold to get all of those bags. I am not getting lucky with altars or treasure chests here. Don't want to buy that. That's... Come on. Boost my armor a little bit. As soon as I try to get these energy bound runes, I can't. surviving, but just barely. Could also use something like lifesteal, I think. If I can get up to 30 armor, I will get a bit of base damage. So hope for a lot of those. Another energy bound rune. Actually. Just going to rearrange slightly so I have some more space to put stuff on this. For every 2 energy, this gives me +1 base damage to a maximum of 10. I can stack that. If I can get multiples of these, I can get that 10 stacking nicely. Come on. The more of these I have, the better. All right. Need healing potions. Oh, I gained a little health out of that. Also need the shop to spawn. There we go. Now I got the arcane blade. Yeah. Gain crit chance with this for every energy as well. So I no longer need these. I'm gonna banish that. One less of those items I gotta worry about popping up. Just need another one of these pocket boxes. Perfect. I only need one. Excellent. Got my backpack space fully unlocked. Lightning. I need energy melee weapons. And we'll also get the arcane helmet. Damn. Yeah. I don't think I have enough damage output, even with the arcane blade, to deal with the boss. Try and get this power altar. Gonna try. There we go. He almost got me, but I did it. You know what? Quills of the Zephyr. 100% damage for 1 second. That might save me. Probably not, but you never know. Snag this chest. Grab that. On damage spike. Ah, that's energy ranged weapons. Damn. It gives me an armor, so I'll keep it. Yeah, that's just straight energy damage, which is great. Melee weapons. Definitely want that. And I will take that because it's helping me out a little. Yeah, I'm dropping this thing's cooldown as much as I can, but damn. Range weapons. I've got to survive for almost 6 seconds before my first weapon will spawn. Grab this treasure chest. See anything good? Energy-based ranged weapons doesn't help me. That's fire. I'm starting to get some useful stuff. I could really use an assassin's hood. That would do a lot of damage. Or that'd be really helpful. And then there's an upgrade, I think, to the assassin's hood that gives me even more damage and attack speed. As long as you have one weapon only. This is just health for energy weapons. Yeah, I think that's a really good arcane item. That makes things poison damage. That's for blunt. Snag you. Armor. Block that. Nope. That. Reroll. That as well. Last reroll. It's not worth having more than one of those. Head for the shop again. Yeah, 5 health regen. Actually, 6 total health regen from this. Super good. Armor, 15 energy, 10 health. Get me a second one of those. We'll snag that. That's cold weapon. Yeah, I will swap this in for... probably get rid of some of these rings of health and amulet of riches to squeeze this helmet in. I only have the one weapon. let's go back to chasing the corner of the map and see if there's anything useful. Time stop. I want that so I can just quickly grab up a bunch of this stuff and hit the shop. Shift that to there. Now, I did have an opening I could have used that hit. That I may drop the Templar shield and some of these spiked shields if I can get energy tag items. Lightning, damn. You know what? I can drop these, grab that. That gets a plus 10 to this. And then I can feed in 2 more energy ups. Yeah, I need Rings of Fury. Backpack space. Energy melee, 5% cooldown reduction. This is an energy melee. Drop that. I want a bunch of these helmets if I can. That would be really good. I really should look into more cooldown reduction from talents. The altar. And the chest. The shop spawned just as the Temple Guardian did. Yep. Alright, let's go see if I can melee this guy to death. Oh boy. Right, his attacks can get over that. Or around it. Oh, those are some big chunks. So I can definitely take him. There we go. Second boss defeated. Nice and easy. Don't do holy damage. Don't really have a whole lot of crit multiplier, but at least this will boost the time my damage is up by 1 second. Hit the shop. That's poison stuff. That's holy. No. Yeah, Shield of Arcane Reflection. We will drop that. Snag that. Yeah, I maxed out spikes. Crit multiplier per energy tag, up weapon range. You know what? I'm gonna drop that. Snag those. Fill in with energy runes. If only I was doing a fire build. And we're gonna drop these. Shift that up. And just boost the size of this thing. Looking all right. Don't care about that. Yeah, I would rather the extra point of armor. Lesser Band of Fury. Hey, I got it under 5 seconds. That was definitely worthwhile. If I could get something like the Momentum Core, this thing would be really powerful. Yeah, this is just a straight upgrade to the energy stones. got 25 health regen already. Excellent. Crit chance, crit multiplier, blood slashing, piercing, and then lots of crit multiplier. It's decent, but doesn't help me as much as I need. If I can find the helmet version of that, I may consider it, depending on what it's got. I think it's better for fire even then. How do I fit this in? You're only giving me health and health regen at this point. Sacrifice those. There we go. So I've taken that all the way down to just under 3 seconds for its cooldown. Yes, I now have 3 of them active. Yeah, depending on the timing. Or the number of enemies around. It only activates if there's enemies nearby. Maps are huge. I'm just searching for chests, relics, any of the towers, really. Go. More coins there. Time stop altar doesn't help me. Magnet altar doesn't help. Yeah, it would have got me some gold at least. This might be just a roll to see what I can find and lock it. Yeah. No, I don't think that's worth it at this point. Hypersonic ring. I will snag the hypersonic ring. Wait. I have to be able to afford it first. So I need like 380 gold. Definitely locking that. Alright. Magnetized bunch. Snag this treasure chest. Alright. You are definitely worthwhile. Just to get this attacking even faster. That gives me enough, so I can sell that. That's more worthwhile. I almost have this thing under 2 seconds. It's not nearly as big, but I get lots of them out now. They still do huge amounts of damage. Time stop, Walter. Great. Healing. At least I found another chest. Almost summoned the shop again. I'll wade into this. Drop that. Get that up to 30 health regen a second. Speed. You know what? Tiny bit of damage loss. Oh, damn. Okay. I will come back when I have the 250 for that. That could potentially bring me under. What? I have the money for this. Alright, I think I have capped out my cooldown reduction. Does it say? Yeah, cooldown reduction 13. Cannot be reduced below 25%. Okay, so I have maxed it out. The only thing this is doing me is the base damage. So I can drop the lesser bands for stuff like... Actually, no, those are also base damage. Yeah, if I get another one of these, Runic Chord's Power, I can drop the 2 lesser bands, and that is an improvement. Alright. So this is literally as fast as it will attack. And here's the mutated skeleton. Mutated skeleton mage lord. Evaporated. Oh. Yeah, we're just gonna quickly grab this and... I have a feeling I can just stand still. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I need to upgrade the weapon size significantly to do that. Because I can't actually hit them. Yeah, this actually doesn't help because the main thing is the cooldown that I want, but I can't go any lower. Yeah, if I was doing a fire build, that would be great. Alright. Let's go exploring. I've reached the top of the map. Yeah, maybe sacrificing area size was not the right move. I'll see if I can restore that. Eclipse hood. If I was running void, it'd be great. Nope. Yeah, my weapon no longer is affected by that. If only I was doing a void build or fire build. There we go. We can draw this and this. Gonna shift some stuff around. Yeah, I'm still got a ton of cooldown reduction. Way more money before I go back in there. All right. Cooldown reduction was not the play. That's good enough. Dude, I could have kept that because I'll be combining it with this, but alright. Mistake was made. Mistake has been fixed. This. Don't need that. Want this back. The extra dash is nice, but having this be massive in the area is so much better. Drop that and get the extra base damage from this helmet. These may also be replaced with that. This is the way to do this weapon. Come on, one of you drop a magnet for me. just trying to kill as many as possible and run down the timer. I don't think I'm going to get much better than this. Last like second or two before the boss spawns, I will jump in the shop. Just for a last minute power boost. That's energy-based ranged weapons, void. At the very least, if I don't find anything else, I get a little bit of extra base damage. It might just be sacrificing gems of armor at this point for amulets of arcane rebirth. Up to 42 health regen because of them. Look at the Thunderlord. It'd be a pain to try and fit in at this point, when I don't think it's worthwhile. Yeah, this is just straight damage. Drop that. Get the Forgotten Prince. Or the Forgotten King's Crown. Alright, I blew through all my gold. And the boss is here. Ruined King. I think I currently have his crown and the helmet of his prince. Lots of gold. And King dead. And I unlocked something from the looks of it. Up a reroll. Go rage. No, I got his pants. Plate legs of the Ruined King. All weapons with a cooldown of at most 4 seconds, so I could use it. Crit chance, crit multiplier, pen 5, plus 2 weapon capacity, 12 armor. Not worth it. Energy ranged. Plus 100% lightning damage. Actually, fitting one of these in would probably be even more effective. Drop that. And those. Hold on. 456. 458, just slightly more. should have gone ranged lightning, or ranged energy, not melee. Because if I'd done that, I'd be finding all of the melee stuff. Screw it. I got about 2 seconds, a little over 2.5 seconds, I think, before my weapons will spawn. And Infernal Destroyer. Has been destroyed. So I beat the first Hellfire difficulty of the new one, unlocking the Mage Apprentice. Sorry, Hellfire 0. The Mage Apprentice is up on elementals, down on physical, so basically the exact opposite. Starts with an arcane wand, arcane wraps, leather bag, and a leather satchel. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a really good combo at the start. Yeah, I can now start with these legs as well. Ooh, I'll have to upgrade how much I can carry. And I've gotten to equip that. Whoops. Real quick, we're going to come down here and... Nah, I'm going to hold off on that because I can spend the 60 and just get the extra bag room. I don't need revives. Take an extra shot banishment. And if I was smart, I would have checked this first. Yeah. That gave me 10 more Titan Souls. And that gave me 25. That gave me the Ancient Weapon Sheath. Alright. That's a relic. Okay, so we'll delete that. Add that. When only using a single weapon, that weapon gains the following abilities. Under 2 seconds, base damage and life drain. Between 2 and 5, crit chance, crit multiplier. Longer than 5, projectile count and penetrating. Okay, so I'll have to remember to pick one of these before I start a run. But for now, I will call it a night here. I thank you all for coming. I hope you had a good time, and if you did, I'll be live again, possibly on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing some BattleTech. Otherwise, I'll definitely be online again at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, playing some BattleTech with the BTA mod installed. Otherwise, y'all have a good night.